Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harder.
And no Carter today, but never fear.
He's sick.
He's sick. He's legit sick, folks. It's coming out of every hole.
It's not a school day excuse this time.
No. But joining us on Mic 3, he is a comedian and the co-founder of The Hard Times. It's our friend,
Bill Conway. Hello, folks.
I call him straight edge Bill Conway.
That's right. Yes.
Hell yeah.
That's what you should remember this guy
I was going to say.
His whole personality is straight edge.
If I die and that's all people say, like at my funeral, it's like, he was straight edge, and then they leave him, I'm fine with it. That's all I need.
A razor-shaped tombstone. Fuck yeah. Now we're talking. Speaking of the straight and narrow, Sam, did you talk to the Bible woman this morning?
Oh, no. My other roommate said they were going to come down the hall, and I just sat in my room playing on my phone. I don't know if I was playing Zelda at that point or not, but
I'm expecting a package, so I heard someone banging on the door. I was like, fuck yeah, and I walked downstairs, and it was a woman. Actually, it was two ladies, and I was like, oh boy, what do they got? They got a bunch of pamphlets, and she asked me if I spoke Spanish. I was like, oh no, and she's like, oh, we're just here to tell people to read the Bible more. I was like, all right, I will. Thanks.
I always want to be like, how the fuck did you get in the building? Who let you in here?
Yeah.
I'm complaining to the management.
I know. We have a new sign downstairs that's like, what does it say? It's like, don't be a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, don't be a piece of shit. Pick up after your dog.
It's like, I don't know.
You should go out in front of the building, though.
What? Oh, there's a bunch of dog shit out there?
Yeah, it's a dog shit fucking Holocaust out there. It's full of dead bodies of dog shit. It's fucking crazy. You just never go out that gate because you park in the garage.
No, that's true. I'm not like trying to be a prude or nothing, but it's just funny to have like a sign that says shit in a building where there's like a bunch of kids that live here and stuff. I don't know.
Well, they sent an email out that included the words piss and shit one time.
Yeah, but they didn't send it to the kids.
Dogs.
They didn't send it to the kids.
We don't know.
The landlord sent the piss and shit email.
Yeah. It was like, don't let your dogs fucking piss and shit. I think dicks.
I think it was like, let them shit in their house, in your own apartment. If you're gonna do that.
That's right. Let them shit in the building we manage.
Like
instead of the hallways.
Yeah.
We've got hardcore landlords, I guess, is what we're saying.
They're cool.
They're very cool.
Yeah. They get it.
Yeah, I'll take a picture of that and put it on the Discord. It was just funny. They nailed a metal sign to the wall that says, don't be a piece of shit and clean up after your fucking dogs.
And it hasn't helped that much.
Wait, this is like a manufactured sign, not handwritten?
No, this is like...
Yeah.
It's like...
It has the shit emoji in the middle of it. It's like something you would buy at a store, but probably from Temu.
At Spencer's Gifts or something. Yeah. Whatever the landlord version of Spencer's Gifts, that's where they got that.
Joanne's Fabric.
Oh, they're going out of business. Yeah, they're going bankrupt.
That's the only reason I had that pool, and you also saw it. So it wasn't a deep pool. You guys caught me.
God, yeah, my entire... I don't know why. I guess everybody just gets that in their algorithm. Everybody needs to know that we need to get to the going out of business sale. But it's been a week since we taste tested the First Form energy drink, and my algorithm is still nothing but First Form. Whoever they're paying... for advertising.
You do all that search on your own computer.
I know, but it's crazy that I just...
you should start doing it in incognito mode.
You got to go to the library for that stuff. Like, you can't do that on your...
I mean, honestly, incognito mode might be the way to go to not completely ruin your shit.
Well, I don't care. It's just funny because
Sounds like you care. I would care. Well, that sounds horrible.
No, the reason it's interesting is I do that every week, and it's never happened with any other energy drink where they've just taken over my shit, like First Form, whatever bulldogs they've got on the algo to latch on. They're not letting go. So
good on them.
Yeah,
they didn't do the energy drink right. But they're doing the advertising pretty well.
Yeah.
We're on a streak of terrible energy drinks. I was thinking about that before the show.
This was like...
God damn it. It's going to be another bad one, isn't it?
Let's go ahead and do it, shit. As long as we've brought up the Spectre, Bill, it's time for our heavyweight championship throwdown.
Okay, here we go.
With low energy, folks. That's right. It's time for our ungodly concoction. Last night something compelled me because I've got a few things. I've got a few things in the war chest, but I was just like, there's something in the air telling me that Weird Sinclair by Warner Brothers is going to have something strange. And I think I was correct because I strolled in there about 11 p.m. and came out with this guy. Bill, why don't you tell the folks what we've got for them today?
This is, of course, Gorilla Energy Drink, the cherry berry with natural flavors. And it has 200 milligrams of natural caffeine, the ultimate energy boost, balanced with L-theanine, and will give you focus and alertness. No artificial flavors or color, 0 added sugar, 60 calories.
Hell yeah.
Okay, is it just me, or did they really not give a fuck when designing this can?
So let me just say,
it looks like shit. Well, like it's supposed to be like a King Kong style roaring gorilla, but it doesn't really. You have to look at it multiple times before you can really see what they're going for.
Yeah,
From
it
the
just
side,
looks
it
like
a tree leaf or something.
it looks like a bunch of splotches. It almost, that design they used to put on cups in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of has that same kind of zigzag to it in some places.
I believe that pattern is called jazz.
Okay.
Yeah, so and just for eagle-eared listeners, some of you might be like, wait, haven't you tried this already? Gorilla Energy Drink, not to be confused with Gorilla Hemp Energy, which is a different one, or Gorilla Mind, which is another one.
This is not part of the same gorilla family.
This is a totally different one. And I found out there is actually another Gorilla Energy Drink that's not this one that already exists here.
Of course there is.
This particular Gorilla Energy...
It's the least unique, I guess, not even brand. I was going to say genre of business.
Yeah.
They don't follow any sort of like, oh, we're going to do something different. They just look at, oh, what's popular? Okay, we're going to do the exact same thing, but a new can. Sorry to go on a rant.
No.
I'm sick of these energy drink companies thinking they can just come into the industry, offer nothing, and then expect these people to put up with the bullshit.
It's actually got a color.
It's got a color.
You only
but
have
the
to pour
thing
two.
is,
Don't worry. You only have to pour two.
there's
Don't
color
worry about
and
me.
bullshit. You're not even going to drink it?
Oh, I don't drink anything with caffeine, my friend.
Oh, wow. He's Mormon straight edge.
That's right. All right. Well, then, Sam, we're
Fill
gonna
up the rest of that.
we're gonna go fucking crazy, my friend.
We've only had a couple people not. I did a podcast the other day where they sent me like a rundown of the segments and what we were going to talk about. And I was thinking for a second, maybe we should do that with our guests. But then I was thinking, springing the energy drink on people is so fun for me and Rivers to just see their reaction when they're like, wait, are you going to force me to fucking drink this?
Dude, it smells like a car that's been smoked in.
Yeah. It does. It smells like cheap grape juice that you've kind of let sit out in your living room for like a day, and then you find it the next day, and you're like, "Is this still good to drink?" And you smell it and go, "No, it's
Pure
not."
diarrhea.
This is straight up my friend Nerm Sturgis's 1998 Pontiac Bonneville that everybody smoked in, and then they tried to spray up some of that.
It's musky
perfume. Yeah,
it's fucking musky.
Would you drink this again, or is this?
Fuck no.
Yeah, all right. This is gonna be a tough finish for you
Heavens,
here.
no.
I do want the caffeine in it because, as you know, we're both drug addicts.
Right. Of course.
And
of course.
you look at guys like us, you look at our body types, you look at our skin. You're like, why would I want to do that? You look fucking young as shit.
Hey, thanks. It's only from drinking this beautiful LA tap water. That's what keeps you young. It's
That's right.
minerals.
I do it,
Yeah.
Where was this made?
Oh boy, I'm so happy you asked. Well, first of all, I'm giving that like I don't know. It does have actual sugar in it. I think it's got 60 calories. So
0 added sugars. So
Yeah.
it could be 25% juice blend. So you got 12
It does. It
grams of
tastes.
sugars.
I knew it. It tastes like cheap juice.
yeah. I'm giving that 2 out of 5. What do you say?
I'm like giving it a 1.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's distributed in LA.
It's also got a
Made in USA.
yucky aftertaste.
Yeah.
I don't usually use that word when describing these, but I'm going yucky.
Like I said, smoked in upholstery. That is the aftertaste. It's quite bizarre.
And at first, I didn't really get what you were talking about, but I just took a sip that was like smelling an old car seat.
Yeah, like,
Straight up.
But yeah, with a little bit of some cigarettes,
Yeah,
but you don't want mom to know, so you spray the fucking the cherry air freshener.
Yeah, multiple owners have treated this car like shit.
Yes. Oh yeah. This is
That sort of smell.
So I think I spent more time trying to figure out who owns this fucking company than any
shell
other
company.
It's a shell of 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 a shell. It's fucking crazy. So Gorilla Energy Drink was supposedly founded in New York City in 2008, and it doesn't say by whom, but I have come to suspect it is a man named Evgeny Kashper. And despite their all-American claim on the can, the internet actually says they are from Russia.
With a name like Evgeny? No.
A product of Moscow Brewing Company. The company says...
Should we be drinking this? Is this poison for Americans?
The company says they have headquarters in Los Angeles and Dubai, but Moscow Brewing Company was founded by Evgeny Kashper and Alexander Lifshitz, and Evgeny is from Russia, came to America, became an American citizen, and then started opening breweries in Russia and made so much money selling American beers and drinks in Russia that he, in 2014, came back to America and bought Pabst Blue Ribbon. So this is the guy who owns Pabst. So this is an offshoot from his shell company from Cyprus that is also in Moscow.
American dream shit right there.
Dude.
You come to America, go back to your old country, take all their money, put it into America.
Buy an American institution.
So according to tax filings, that's right, I had to go find state of California tax documents to get this information.
You're sick in the head. You're sick in the head, Rivers.
Someone named Mikhail Lifshitz is the CEO of Gorilla USA, where this is supposedly made, but their Los Angeles offices, it's Suite F inside the Beverly Hills Medical Tower.
Of course.
Okay.
You're going to have to go knock on the door.
Is this the one at Cedar Sinai?
No, it's an independent medical tower across from the Marriott just off Century Boulevard in Beverly Hills.
Okay. I have been in buildings like that, and there are random fucking offices.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ones in... I used to go to one in Koreatown, and you would have to walk by a place.
Many energy drink.
A place that said it was like part of a Korean broadcast, like local TV broadcast, and you'd look in, and it was just like what you would think a crummy insurance salesman's office would look like.
Yeah.
There's lots of stacks of paper and
just
filled with shit that you're like, why would you even use that? But you're like, this is the office for a TV station, technically.
You're just like looking at a guy's on an exercise bicycle that's attached to a carbonation machine. And he's just going, faster, Evgeny, faster.
It's like, I'm there to do physical therapy on my hand. But then I went to this other place in Koreatown, and it was the same deal for acupuncture. And they also had a bunch of places in there that it was like mostly medical shit, but a bunch of places that weren't.
I almost fought a parking attendant in Koreatown not too long ago because my wife was getting a wisdom tooth extraction, and the nurse calls me up. She's like, hey, are you outside? And I was like, yes. She's like, pull into the handicap spot. We're bringing your wife down real soon. So I pull into the handicap spot, and I'm waiting there, and the parking lot attendant comes over. He's like, where's your handicap thing? I was like, oh, they just told me to pull into this spot because my wife is coming down. He's like, who told you to pull into the spot? It's like, I don't know, the nurse? And he's like, you got to get out of this thing. And then I see my wife get wheeled out, in a wheelchair. Her face is all wrapped up. And I was like, oh, over here. And he turns around and sees my wife. He's like, oh, never mind. I was like, you're damn fucking right, you motherfucker.
Did you think I was making this up?
Yeah, I'm not just pulling into handicap spots all willy-nilly.
Yeah.
It's like, say one more thing, motherfucker. Say one more thing.
If it was me, I would have fucking killed him.
You should have fucking
I would have
killed
pulled
him.
out a knife and slit his fucking throat. Said, sorry, honey. I got to murder this guy before we go home.
I know you're all hopped up on goofballs right now, but I have to murder somebody.
Their umbrella company is called Oasis, located in Limassol on the island of Cyprus.
Oh, that's legit.
And if you call the office, they say that there are nobody who works there is actually at this office.
You called the office?
No, a journalist called the office when they bought Pabst. They were like, wait, who's buying Pabst? And they start going backwards, and they're like, it's shells of shells of shells scattered across the fucking earth. They're, I guess technically in Cyprus. She won't say where the executives are located. So the company, I guess, is established in 2008, which is, I guess, where the claim that this is from New York City, because this guy went to Columbia. So he's like, yes, I had this idea in New York City in 200008.
Oh, he went to Columbia, the school.
Yes.
For some reason, I was like, right now he lives in Columbia, the country.
No,
now?
I thought the same thing. This guy is, he has a pretty intense life, so I could see that being a thing too.
So this company is actually the successor of two other offshore companies that he used for cash flow, tax, and accounting, North Winds and Detroit Investments.
Of course.
And a third offshore name, Echelon Systems Limited, registered in the British Virgin Islands, hasn't been identified in court as part of another payment scheme. So this was like, this is one of those, I was like, just type in Gorilla Energy CEO. And it was like, Gorilla is made in the USA. Like, it's not what I asked. And it took about an hour to get anywhere with this.
It was that last name you mentioned, like, did he like type in like shell company name generator and then like just hit, give me a shell company name,
Yes.
Echelon Properties Limited or whatever.
Yeah, this is 2008, around the same time as the Wu-Tang generator. So I'm sure there was a shell company generator program that was farming your data for Facebook at the time. So the American website is just very whatever. I went to the Russian website and translated it. This is what the Russian website says about this flavor. Gorilla has a ruthless level of energy that gives you maximum concentration and the ultimate level of vigor within you.
Whoa.
I was like, wait, the vigor's within you. Maybe it's a mistranslation, but Gorilla is a society of the strong. I don't like this.
Well, this is like AI written Russian translation.
Gorilla cherry berry with the taste of juicy cherry. A bright mood of warm days.
Oh, yeah, I get that last part. Yeah,
All
that
right.
makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a bright mood of warm days.
Bright mood.
Seems like what you guys have transformed into after drinking that is.
I got a warm day. It's
My
happening
forehead's
now.
twitching.
Yeah. Oh, I'm feeling it.
Is 200 milligrams a lot of caffeine?
Yeah, it's the higher end. Yeah, I think 300 is like that's the crazy one.
A can of Coke has about 40.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew this one would be perfect for you guys as enjoyers of the mixed martial arts, because their big corporate spokesman is, of course, Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Oh, this is how I know it's a scam.
You got Khabib on there.
Yeah, so that guy,
The Eagle.
he signed a multi-year contract to be the brand ambassador for Gorilla Energy in 2021. So that's where you may have seen this on his fight pants.
No,
Well, he's-
the UFC will not allow any sponsors on
Oh,
their
really?
thing,
Okay,
yeah.
so
He
Yeah.
probably just posted on his social media or something. He
The one picture I saw of him with their gear did look like he was just wearing a black t-shirt and they just kind of photoshopped their logo
Yeah.
on it. But
He's not the most.
he doesn't care about fashion.
Yeah.
no.
He's not. He doesn't. He's not like the most like charismatic person either. He let his fighting do the talking. So I can't imagine him as a spokesperson for anything. How do any of these companies? They're just laundering money.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Well, this one in particular, I think, is very big in Europe. From what I could tell, this is because it's, I guess, made in Russia, but he set up all these shell companies to be able to get around sanctions and shit. They have, they have an operation in England, and then he's, as they say on the can, they've got their headquarters, not technically in Moscow, are in Dubai and LA. So,
Of course.
I guess there's a workaround. But the people who distribute this, and I couldn't believe this, they actually also distribute Arizona iced tea in Europe, in Russia. I was like, oh, you can get a mucho mango in Moscow?
Yeah, I mean, same size can, so
Yeah.
probably packaged at the same facility. So, of all the energy drinks you've tried, you said it was a 2, so is that bottom tier? Like, what are we normally?
Yeah, that's like wouldn't try again.
Yeah.
Kind of okay, I know what this is now.
How many flavors did they have? Do you know?
They had a bunch of different shit. They had one in Moscow in the Russian version that was just mint.
Mint.
And I was like, okay, yeah, that seems
It's
interesting.
like menthol energy. Drink,
Yeah.
basically.
It tastes like cigarette. So I guess probably tastes like that one. It tastes like you were smoking menthols inside of a Pontiac Bonneville.
Yeah, everything's slightly cigarette tinged.
Yeah,
is where we're landing on.
We
here.
have cigarette theme throughout fruit flavor. But yeah, so this one it's fairly big in Europe, from what I can tell.
Yeah, the Europeans are always so far ahead of us on these sorts of things, So this will be big in the States in like 3 years. You're on the cutting edge.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I want to know. Yeah, I couldn't find any information about where they were actually manufacturing this. Just that strange shell office that they have in Beverly Hills.
Socials, like, do they have like Instagram?
Their fight page, I think, has more followers than their drink page. Like they're fighting because they sponsor. I think there was a guy named Islam
Makhachev.
Yeah,
he's the current UFC lightweight champ and Khabib's cousin.
Okay, yeah. So he's also one of their fighters, I guess. At least is listed on the page. So I guess it's all the Dagestani fighters are all sponsored by Gorilla, but very interesting, very confusing. But always fun to find, one small branch of a 1,000-tentacled beast,
right?
That is doing God knows what with billions of dollars, and they own Pabst.
Yeah. All right. Well, glad the Dagestani warlords are.
And Khabib loves to get drunk.
Yes. Yeah. Huge lush that Khabib.
Yeah.
No, they're all in a religion where they don't touch alcohol.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking.
Yeah. Well, that's Gorilla Energy.
Горилла. Сила для твоего главного боя.
Before we go any further, I wanted to shout out our friend Frank, who got us into the happiest motherfucking place on earth, Disneyland, last week. Oh my God, folks, I'm a Disney adult now. I've graduated from Disney child to Disney adult. My God, we did 14 rides in 14 hours. Got in about 26 to 27,000 steps, somewhere like that.
They didn't give you a golf cart,
Oh, by the end, I needed one for sure.
Rivers needed one at the start. Rivers started walking like an old man.
When he got to the turnstile from the parking lot, just like, oh shit.
No, I was enchanted, Sam. I was just wanting to take it all in.
Rivers needs Medicare, and he doesn't want to sign up for it because he's too proud.
I've got Medicare.
I've got a quick Disney question.
Yeah.
So Disneyland and Disney World, two separate places. Are they both the happiest place on earth? And if so, how?
Oh, good question. I think the one of them is the happiest place in Florida, and the other is the happiest place on Earth because it's in a normal state.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, the other one you have to go to Swamp Hell World to go actually see. This one, it's like, oh, it's a normal temperature here sometimes. Great.
Right.
Yeah, that was one of the things I couldn't help but just think about because we were there obviously in February and it was crowded, but manageable.
Right.
All I could think about was the living hell that Disneyland must be in like July.
Yeah.
With the heat and the crowds, but when we went, man, it was just perfect. So shout out to our friend Frank for taking us around there and showing us what's up.
Did you get a shirt?
I didn't get a shirt.
Fuck. How is anybody going to know you went?
Yeah, I know. I was just.
There's some pictures, but yeah.
I got some pictures. We'll post them on the Discord, linktree.com/thegoodspot. Join the Discord. I'll put up some pics of everybody at Disneyland. We got a few up there already, actually, but including me getting finally the turkey leg, the gigantic mutated turkey leg that I've been thinking about since the year 2000.
How big of a leg are we talking here?
Hefty. I mean, we're talking
like it had some real weight to it.
You've probably seen him before.
Yeah,
Rivers had to like wipe his hands off and then go to the bathroom, and then he could still barely get the grease all the way off.
So thick, so gelatinous and thick, and just cling to you. Yeah, I tried to do the thing where I was like, "Oh, hand sanitizer," and get it off, and that made it so much fucking worse. It just,
why is it burning now?
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, killer ass time at Disneyland. What was your favorite ride, Sam?
It's hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah,
there's so
they're special
many good
in their own
ones.
ways.
Yeah, I mean they're honestly very different. I guess the new Star Wars one is the most impressive, and it's impressive because you're not on a track. Yeah. You're in a car that I guess is propelled by magnets or in a computer.
It's like a hyperloop.
So you don't exactly know the direction you're going to go. Whereas if you're on a roller coaster, you can see the track and kind of anticipate it to some degree.
Right.
This you couldn't. And that was fun and it had some really good visuals. The Tiana's Bayou
Splash Mountain.
No, it's
former Splash Mountain.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Okay, what is that based on?
The Princess and the Toad or Frog or whatever.
It used to be Splash Mountain, but Splash Mountain was based on the controversial Song of the South. So when they redid it, they did it to the Princess and the Frog movie, which I've never seen, but it's...
River still calls it Splash Mountain because guess why?
Because he's not some woke lefty.
That's right. That's right. If I don't say Splash Mountain, then the woke will get get me.
That was fun. The Matterhorn was good. The Incredicoaster was great.
That was the last one.
We did the loop-de-loop on that one.
Cherry on top.
The other ones didn't have it.
No, but
which I was kind of surprised that they had less loop-de-loops than because I only have ever been to Six Flags.
Yeah,
which is now way less impressive.
Well, yeah, most of their roller coasters are, first of all, in like really tight spaces, which is always makes them a little bit more exciting, and plus half of them are in the dark, so to Sam's point, you can't really see what the fuck's about to happen to you. Like Space Mountain, for instance. But
that's the fun part of Space Mountain. Oh yeah, I also forgot that,
buddy.
You can't anticipate shit.
No,
you're
nothing.
fucked. Once you're in there, you're fucked.
As soon as you started to anticipate, they changed the rules on you. You know?
Yeah.
I was disappointed we couldn't do Indiana Jones.
Yeah, we missed that. We missed the Guardians of the Galaxy.
How many rides are there?
Probably, legit, probably 20, and we did 14 of the 20.
I think
like
there's
that.
more than that because we didn't get on the teacups
or like the
any of
kiddie
the
rides, mostly for the most part.
I wouldn't
Did you
call.
guys get motion sick or anything? Or
no.
The rides aren't really. I feel like the rides aren't long enough, maybe for that. But I don't really get motion sick in general.
Yeah.
Do you?
I don't. My wife does. We went to Universal Studios and we did the Harry Potter one, and it's a lot of like screens inside, and like it legitimately fucked her up for like 3 days to the point where I was like, "Come on, are you faking it at this point?"
Voldemort's got me.
Yeah. Like children go on this ride, but
I guess I hadn't been on a roller coaster in a long time, and I forgot that I am one of those. Just my natural reaction is just like. So I woke up the next day and my fucking voice was
Okay. Let me correct it. It's not even It's him laughing
That's
as hard
it,
as he can at the same time as screaming. So he's laugh screaming, genuinely having a great time. It's not like annoying or anything. You're like, damn, he is having the best time
so
ever.
Fun. So fucking fun.
And then all the pictures, he's like gripped so fucking tight on the bar in front of him. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, I love it. I take a good on-ride photo. Every one of them, I'm just like,
yeah, that's what you want.
I didn't know the photo was being taken on one of them, and it's like my face is covered up by something.
Oh yeah, there's one where
bullshit. I missed out on one.
There's one where I'm screaming in terror and Carter is wiping his nose, but it kind of looks like he's yawning. He's got his fist over his face. And
Carter had a couple good ones too.
Yeah,
Carter had one where it looked like gravity was trying to separate his body from his head. Like it just caught him in a moment where his neck is like looks crazy long because I think we were on the drop technically.
Oh yeah,
that's what's happening.
Yeah. The Tiana Bayou Adventure drop.
Trying to rip off Carter's head.
Yeah.
How many people get decapitated on that every year? It's like it's a high percentage.
Not
right?
zero.
Yeah.
Not certainly. I think when we did like a whole.
We heard a rumor or a truth about the Matterhorn. Some woman died on it.
But nobody's ever technically died there, is what they say, because they cart people right outside the park.
They shock your heart.
Well, I think they found her dead.
Oh God!
This is what we heard at the park.
Yeah,
she
over the PA system.
Well, she like stood up or something and hit her head, and then the next
they tell you about it on the Country Bears ride. Well, gosh, folks, let me tell you the story about Stella McClintock. She jumped off the Matterhorn and popped her head right off. Yeah. No, I think we did an episode where we talked about deaths at Disneyland, and that you're right. That's one of those things with supposedly, allegedly, if you die, they'll just keep shocking your heart. So technically your heart is still beating as they wheel you out of the park. So nobody can die on Disney property. They won't allow it.
That's just a lie.
I mean, you figure how many people like would just be like, well, I want to be the one person that does that and goes and kills themselves at Disney. You know, like people would do that. You know?
Definitely.
I'm one of them. I'll fucking do it.
I was just gonna say that is one of the darkest thoughts I've heard recently, and who would even consider doing that? But I guess we know now.
Yeah. It's not even consider plan.
Well, apparently people do with some regularity like dump people's ashes out in like the Small World and Pirates of all the boat rides and stuff. So hey,
that's why you're not supposed to drink the water there. You're just drinking bone char.
Right. But also it does add an extra level of horror to something like Splash Mountain where you get totally soaked. You're like, oh God, I hope it wasn't today. I hope it wasn't, Aunt Jenny's fucking day to be spread.
If you guys had to pick where you could get your ashes spread, what's like the first thing that pops into your mind? Like,
I mean, something horrifying like Disneyland's not bad. especially if you make a big spectacle out of it. Like,
Yeah, well, you're not allowed to.
oh, I know that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
not really allowed to do it anywhere.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think you're.
true. Here's the corpse. Here
Please
it
don't
is.
throw these ashes over everybody.
Yeah.
I just realized. You guys want to hear the darkest story I could ever tell
Hell
in the
yeah.
history of your
course.
life?
Of course.
All right, this is true. All right, my family is a family of tragedy, and this is one that illustrates that. My uncle dies of stomach cancer, okay? Starves to death. That's stomach cancer will do to you. So he's cremated, and his final wish is to have his ashes spread over the house that was built in our small town of Hanson, Massachusetts. This Victorian house. It stands out. Like, you see this house, like, what is this place doing in this small town? It's a beautiful place. He spent his whole life building it and perfecting it, and it was always a work in progress. It's almost like your, with that mystery house. The
Winchester Mystery House
It's like
in San
it's
Jose.
like got those vibes. So he wants his ashes spread over that because my cousin, Scott, who is my age, is a pilot. So he can get in one of those single-engine planes, fly over, dump the ashes, and have it.
Oh, no.
So,
oh, my God.
so Scott gets in an airplane with his brother, my cousin, and they have their father's ashes. Airplane goes to take off. Engine malfunction. Plane crashes. Scott dies.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
My cousin paralyzed for life.
Wow.
All to spread the father's ashes. And Scott had just found out the day before that his wife was pregnant. So,
Oh,
yes.
my God.
Yeah, I told you it was going to be dark.
No, that's holy shit.
Yeah, and he was 36, 37.
Whoa.
Spent his whole life, like he was in the military, flew Black Hawk helicopters.
So to answer your question, not out of a plane.
Yeah.
I don't want my ashes spread out of a plane.
Somebody that you love will
A
not
third
be-
party, please.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do that,
You're gonna have
let's
to hire them.
Yeah. Let's do the Hunter S. Thompson thing and just have him shot into the air
Yeah.
or something.
But
Holy
yeah,
shit.
my brother called and told me that one. I was like, yeah, of course that happened. Like, why wouldn't it? Like, what are you talking about?
So wait, did they recover the ashes? Did they?
I mean, I'm
Did they-
sure they spilled. Yeah, I don't
they-
think anybody like took a credit card and like scraped it back into the thing. I
Did
just think,
anybody get the rest of the ashes to repeat the?
no, it's I
just
I
let that one go.
Yeah, so I didn't have any follow up questions. My aunt was too busy, wailing.
Yes,
to
for
be like,
sure,
"Well,
yeah.
So what happened?
Holy
Yeah,
shit! Oh
but-
my God!
But yeah, so transitioning off of that topic should be easy. Yeah.
Okay, let me go for a still dark but lighthearted one.
All right.
A comic, his cousin dies. I think of a fucking overdose, right? Gets the ashes, and for some reason at the funeral they had ashes and people could just take them.
Like a little baggie.
I don't know how they were doing it.
Party favor.
I think it was kind of like you can go spread this. Or some people are freaks and keeping them in an urn.
I have a new answer to the original question. How do you want your ashes spread? I want to make myself other people's problems.
Well, that's all you're doing when you die.
Put a
They have to deal with your fucking corpse. It becomes
everyone
someone else's
a
problem.
dime bag of me. Yeah, figure it the fuck out.
But yeah, so comic takes them, but with the intent to do a giveaway at his comedy show that's coming up.
Yes.
Where you have to you do a pick where you either pick a surprise gift or I think it's two surprise. You have to pick between two surprise gifts, and one is a joke. So the joke is his cousin's ashes.
Okay, I was gonna hope that was the joke one, yeah, at least.
But before this happens, he got kind of drunk and they were in a glass jar. And he kind of set down the jar a little too hard, and it had broken.
Oh, no.
So when he goes to pull out the cousin's ashes, it just goes all over the floor of this bar in fucking Thousand Oaks. And then they had to sweep up the ashes and just throw them in the fucking trash at this bar.
Oh my
Nice
God.
lasting legacy. For
It's
this
one of the
family member.
most memorable things I've ever seen at a comedy show.
I mean, that honestly was going to be my answer. Is like something funny, like a pratfall is kind of the perfect way to do it. Although,
There is no funny way to do that because then someone has to you can't pratfall yourself when you're dead
Right.
and ashes.
Yeah, somebody else has your
You're gonna-
urn, you slip on a banana peel.
Yeah, again, making yourself someone else's problem. I don't think that's the way to do it.
Folks, if you want me to do something funny with your body, tweet at me at Rivers Langley. I will be happy to be the master of ceremonies, the prankster, if you will, at your interment, your funeral. I will do something funny with your ashes.
Me and Bill got you on a Viking funeral. We'll do you up right.
Yeah, I'll start learning archery right now so I can fire that arrow.
Yes, and I'll do a goof 'em up with your body.
What would you do? What's your plan as of right now?
Like I said, pratfalls are good.
what do you mean by pratfall?
Like you've got the thing, and you're in a nice suit, and you're like,
You'd have to do this at the funeral.
right.
You're saying
You're walking towards the podium, and then whoop, 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 and then you slip on a banana peel and spill the ashes on yourself, and maybe you've.
But by yourself, you mean like your loved one has to do that. Like yourself is being spilled on somebody else.
No, it's me. I'm,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
pretending to be like a funeral director.
I see.
Okay.
And then I'll follow my butt and be like, I pooped in my pants too. I'll say
wow.
something very funny.
Yeah, that is good like that. You just thought of that?
Oh no! I made mud in my pants.
yeah.
They'll crush.
I'm just covered in ashes. I've let loose with human soil.
So when we say funny for a funny thing, it means funny for one person
Yeah.
and horrifying for everyone else at the funeral.
Traumatized children.
Yes, I mean that's that's what I would want.
Yeah,
And
it
you
builds
need
character.
You need someone reliable who
Okay.
will carry out your final wishes to horrify your family.
Yeah.
Your mom listens.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
If
Shout
she
out.
outlives you, we know what has to happen.
Oh yeah. I mean, the other funny
We're
one
gonna
is-
make Carter do it. I'm not gonna do it.
The other funny one, of course, is if you're being buried and not cremated, to have someone the pallbearers intentionally drop you and then just be fully nude and just
Yes, coffin
bo-
flop.
your
I
body
want-
fall out.
I want somebody to piss on my grave, and then when they fill up the dirt, dance on the grave.
Well, the person you hire, like nobody in your family knows about this, and it's just like they have to do it.
No, it'll be Rivers.
Yeah.
If I die, this is the evidence. Rivers can piss on my coffin or body.
The other one that I think we covered this during COVID. Somebody did this have a guy come up to your grave when they're burying you and just start firing into the grave. That was hilarious. Do you remember that one?
No.
It was a funeral for some gang guy in Chicago, and during the funeral, like a rival gang pulled up and like began firing into the grave. I was like, that is
Why not?
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's a badass way to go. Like, my ops are here.
Look, it's responsible for a lot of reasons because so many people have been buried alive. You're just making sure that's not a medical problem. Like, I'm sure he had a string tied to his toe that could ring a bell, but now he's
Yes.
And it's not murder.
no.
Technically.
The guy was already dead. That's double jeopardy. You can't get charged with killing him twice.
I think that's the most badass way to go. Have your rival show up and just begin firing into your open grave.
You got to make
Seriously.
a real rival, though. That would be like the thing.
No, that's what I'll do. I mean, I can offer. I'm offering a wide array of. I'll dress up like a gang guy.
Yeah.
I'll dress up like Al Capone. Just roll up with a Tommy gun and begin firing it into your grave and going, see?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just chomping on a cigar.
Yeah. Just go straight Edward G. Robinson on your ass. Why
I
not?
didn't realize he was involved in organized crime in the 1920s. What the hell
Isn't
happened?
that crazy? Just hit me up if you want this to happen. I will do it. I will do funny things at your funeral.
That's a good service you've provided. It's
Great, and
wholesome.
And you'll do it for
altruistic.
free?
Yeah.
Plane ticket and like a per diem.
Okay, so this is a service you pay for.
Hey, this is bottom basement. You know what I'm saying? This is the least you can do.
And are you gonna book a comedy show while you're there
Of
too?
course,
Fucking-
during the funeral.
yeah.
You should pitch the comedy show right after you get up from the
I'm
ground.
handing out business cards, folks. Tonight,
I know this has gone bad, but we could use an uplifting moment.
after the funeral, I'm giving you 10% off your ticket price at
Magoobers.
Possum Fuck.
It is
Comedy
a
Club.
2-drink minimum. It is a 2-drink minimum. Sorry. $18 for a lemonade.
But you get a free app with this coupon. A free app.
It's a free app you download on your phone. It's more advertisement for my comedy.
Yes. Hell yeah.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
So I wanted to cover one of my favorite stories that's broke over the last week in my home state of Alabama in a place called Hanceville, which is about 40 miles north of Birmingham in Cullman County. So this is a town of 3,000 people, so a very small town. And it was previously best known as being one of the very first places in Alabama to pass anti-trans bathroom laws. So yay.
All right, ahead of the curve.
Yeah, in 2016 too, before it was cool.
Wow.
And it's also home to a Catholic monastery. So like, pretty boring place overall, but
Catholics have never done anything wrong.
No.
So.
But it's kind of boring overall. But that said, the party was at the police department, folks, because in August of last year, and again, this happened at 11 a.m., a 49-year-old police dispatcher, Chris Willingham, was found dead of an overdose of muscle relaxers, benzodiazepine, meth, and fentanyl.
Jesus, that's a cocktail.
At 11 a.m. Because I read Police Dispatcher and then started looking into it. I was like thinking, like, I don't know, man. Maybe he's burning the candle at both ends. Nope. 11 a.m. Benzos, meth, muscle relaxers, and fentanyl at the same time.
You know what? He was getting them off the streets.
Well, they were already off the streets, as it turns out. By the way, I would love to hear the Wolf of Wall Street ass, Quaalude fucking scene. Police dispatcher just being like, the cat, sushi, he's fucked out of his mind. Just shoot the chocolate man. A grand jury's investigation later determined that Willingham had access to the police department's unsecured evidence room.
No, not a police officer going into the unsecured evidence room. This must be the first time that's ever happened.
So this is a quote from the indictment. The death of former Hanceville dispatcher Chris Willingham is the direct result of Hanceville Police Department's negligence, lack of procedure, general incompetence, and disregard for human life. You're not going to believe this, but next to the evidence room was a hole in the wall. So the evidence room.
Glory hole in the evidence room. Yeah, no wonder they're always in there.
They gained access to the drug buffet by reaching into this hole with a broomstick and jimmying open the door. And is there a surveillance photo? Yes. That's the hole in the wall. So you'll see
removed one cinder block.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's so big that you'll notice this fat-ass cop.
He has his whole head in it.
What the fuck?
Who has Winnie the Pooh'd himself into this hole.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
And you can see he's got the broomstick under his arm, so literally he's just using it to open the door. This is incredible. So last week, the Cullman County Sheriff, Matt Gentry, arrested the entire police department. And one of the officer's spouses on charges of evidence tampering, computer fraud, and drug distribution charges. And the grand jury has recommended that the entire police department be immediately abolished, finding a rampant culture of corruption.
All right. All right.
Is that all it takes?
Yeah.
Is that all it takes to have them abolished?
I know.
Them all to be on meth and fentanyl and cocaine and every single thing they can get.
Oh, don't forget steroids.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
So is the evidence locker. They just do it when they need a tiny piece to throw somebody in jail. They're like, here's a couple Xanax and some weed to throw them in.
Yeah, pretty much. And while that picture of him, as I said, Winnie the Poohing himself in the honey tree that is the evidence locker is funny. By far, the funniest part is, I'll show you the mug shots of everybody involved, just so you guys can kind of get a flavor of Hanceville, Alabama's law enforcement community, and we'll put this up right here so people can see it.
Eric Kelso, something's happened there.
Oh, yeah, you might have made note of Eric Kelso.
His eyes are way too close together.
They're too close together. His nose is kind of like a soft diagonal, and it seems like he has a lot of space on one side of his face and not the other. Could be the angle. He just has a small face on a gigantic fat guy's head.
Right.
Yeah, and I believe that left eye is not real.
It looks like a Nintendo 64 character in GoldenEye.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like a bad video game.
DK mode. Yeah,
I like his bangs though. Nice bangs.
Oh God, the Bama bangs, as we call those. Yeah, that's a thing. Shout out to my friend Sierra, who is a hairdresser who in the mid 2000s got on a one-woman quest to eliminate Bama bangs by telling college guys like Justin Bieber's hair, and they would go, no, give me a normal haircut.
So we got Cody Donna and Eric Kelso. One of those is a married couple.
Yeah, so Eric is married to Donna Kelso.
Handsome woman.
Cody Kelso, I believe it's his brother. Jason Marlin is the chief of police, or maybe it's Shell Nut is the chief of police. And then Jason Wilbanks we'll talk about in a second here. But Eric Michael Kelso, so the guy with the crazy eye.
EMK is what his friends call him.
EMK. He is accused of selling, furnishing, giving away, or delivering Adderall and hydrocodone and anabolic steroids to Officer Wilbanks and, as I said, I think his brother, Cody Kelso. And this is the part that is so funny to me. So while on duty, Cody Kelso and Will Banks, they would get the steroids from Jimmy Two Eyes, and then they would go to Donna's office. I think she works at a hospital to get them injected. So these two cops were too fucking pussy to shoot steroids into their own asses. They had to rope Donna into this whole stupid fucking thing.
Donna wanted to be roped in.
I'm sure she did, but it's just funny. It's like they would drive to the hospital while on duty to get injected. I'm like, you fucking bitches.
They want to be hyped up to harass some trans people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
we're scanning bathrooms today, boys. We need to get fucking hopped up.
So Hanceville Mayor Jim Sawyer said Thursday in a statement that the Cullman County Sheriff's Department will be now taking over all law enforcement duties in Hanceville.
I'm sure nobody in Cullman has ever done anything like this before.
No, there's no corruption in this department.
No, not at all. And this is the mayor's quote. It is unfortunate that the actions of a few have tarnished our city's good name. And speaking of the mayor, the former evidence custodian of Hanceville, that being the cop who's in charge of the evidence room, his name is Lowell Adam Hatter. He filed a lawsuit last year against the mayor, Jim Sawyer, and the city clerk, alleging that the mayor fired him after ignoring warnings of the chain of evidence being compromised.
Whistleblower gets fired.
So the whistleblower was like, they took out a brick and they're opening the door with a broom. And the mayor was like, stop snitching, nerd.
That just means the mayor's in on it, too.
It's so fucking funny. And and I just like that somebody had to have been like, don't tell on us, you fucking dork.
What did they have covering the hole? Did they just
I feel like they were just sliding the brick in and out. Knowing that the cops were the only ones in the area.
Well, they have some boxes in front of it, so I wonder if they just stacked up some cardboard.
They got some boxes, and you will note that there is a sign that says no fishing.
It looks about exactly the size.
I was like, please tell me it's a no fishing sign over the buffet of
where
drugs.
You fish into the drug den.
Get the drugs out of. Yeah. So, this guy's he's getting sued by the one person who was like, this seems fucked. So they fired him. And so Hatter worked in his role for 10 years until he was terminated last April. In a lawsuit filed in August, he claimed that he was wrongfully terminated and forced to leave without adequately securing the evidence room at the Hanceville Police Department. So the mayor's like, please step down. He was like, I will step down. I need to secure all the evidence and file it. And he was like, you don't need to do that. And just took his key and fucking left. Wow. And kicked the guy out of the building. So that's what he was suing for. Fucking
you just
hilarious.
Don't expect this from police departments,
No. Hatter states that during a heated meeting with the mayor, police chief, and the city clerk on April 8th, he was told the mayor that he must resign. So the DA of Cullman County, Champ Crocker.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's short for championship. Champ Crocker says, quote, as far as pending cases go, if evidence has been tampered with, it is now completely unusable. And we think it's possible that cases are going to have to be dismissed.
Of course they are.
Yeah,
this is one of those things where every case on every crime has to be dismissed.
Yeah.
The cops are all liars.
Right.
They got caught lying about this evidence. Why would they not lie about every single thing?
Yeah.
I want to shout out every meth head in Cullman County who's about to walk away fucking clean as a whistle, baby.
Get you even a low quality defense attorney, and they should be able to get you off. And you don't even got to pay the big bucks for this one.
The person just has to point to the hole.
I was going to say,
come on.
Just print off on your home printer a picture of the hole in the wall and this big fat ass cop with his head stuck in it.
And be like, come on. Would you trust these people? Said I was going 15 over. They're all high on crack
and meth and muscle relaxers and steroids and fucking fentanyl.
And look how close this guy's eyes are together. That's weird.
He does look like he almost has the meth face, the weird scrunched up meth face, but and maybe this is a thing where he's been taking steroids and not working out.
Yeah, it's definitely got the steroid face separation.
Because he has a really big jawline that doesn't make sense.
His face is sort of...
So yeah, he might have just been taking the steroids and not... pumping iron.
Right, and like looking at him like, why aren't I getting jacked? I'm just getting like weird looking. Yeah, you still got to work out there, Eric.
And then his brother, meanwhile, he's got the big ass steroid neck, I think. So
I feel like that Cody Kelso talks about his boat a lot. You know?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
definitely.
Loves his boat.
yeah. Also, in other Hanceville mayor news, as it turns out, the previous mayor of Hanceville, Kenneth Nail, had to resign in December of 2023 when he pled guilty to 15 misdemeanor counts of using jail inmates as slaves for his private labor tasks at his home and various properties.
So this town of 3,000 people, like we at least know 11
That's not
of them.
funny, Rivers. Don't laugh.
I think it's pretty funny that the last mayor, it's like, why are you the mayor right now? It's like, oh, the last one was doing slavery. Oh, okay. That's probably a good reason. Yeah. Because while the big ass loophole in the 13th Amendment is like no slavery unless they're, incarcerated.
Yeah.
The deal with that is you got to be doing community service.
Also, they'll completely make up a lie to get you in prison.
Oh, 100%.
To literally look at this to make you a slave.
Yes, 100%. But in this case, he was just like, all right, boys, get in the back. And then he was taking them to his, doing yard work. And they said that he had some of the inmates doing, electrical work on a trailer he owned. And I was like, did you just... you just waited till an electrician got drunk to pull him
This
over?
is like Shawshank Redemption. It hasn't been enough years yet, but they're like, I'm going to electrocute this motherfucker one day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Run off.
So he was ordered to pay $4,000 in restitution, fined $2,500 and sentenced to community service. So
Seems
Did he serve the community?
Yeah.
Picked up some garbage or...
the next mayor took him to scrub down the outside of his boat. Watch out for barracudas. I don't know. That's the situation in Hanceville.
If you want to break the law, win an election.
Hell
That's
yeah.
all I can tell you at this point.
Hey, look at
yes.
that! Look at that president of ours.
Yeah.
I mean, am I right? I don't want to get political here.
Hey,
I just literally, at any level.
yeah.
You could be how many people live in this town?
3,000.
You can go corrupt the whole town. Whole goddamn guy. Corrupt the whole goddamn town.
Yeah,
I just that's the entire police department got arrested. It's so goddamn funny.
yeah. Well, crime is now legal in Hanceville because that entire police department.
And we should look up the record of the sheriff department that's taken over.
Yeah, Cullman County Sheriff's.
Not going to be pretty.
I'm also sure the methods are 8 less police officers in town.
Well, the methods are who's going to give us our meth?
Yeah.
Yeah, where am I going to buy all this meth from now?
Yeah, that's true. They were selling it. Fuck.
Yeah.
Also, buy your drugs from cops. The best way to not get arrested for drugs.
Perfect circle, perfect loop. Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like they were just giving the drugs to each other, but they were also doing that. Yeah, and shout out to several people sent me this. As soon as you saw, as soon as you can't, as soon as you see that mugshot, it's I got to talk about whatever the fuck this is. So
What did he do? We need to talk about him.
shout out to Dami. But here's the horrifying thing is that I kind of think this story doesn't go national if this guy didn't look like one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family members.
You think it's him? You think
a
it's
star.
him doing it? This
This would have been a local story, but this was on ABC. This was on CNN. And
this is big news. An entire town's police department that's pretty big news.
yeah, but
I don't think they're just plastering the weird guy's face up you got to see what this motherfucker did.
I don't know. I kind of think it doesn't go all the way national.
If you looked at this guy's picture and had to guess what he got arrested for, you would never get it right in a million years.
No.
He was a cop?
What?
You would think it was drunk driving or fucking domestic violence or something.
Yeah,
This is fucking a whole new level.
No, it wasn't domestic violence. I love my hospital wife who shoots my brother's ass up with steroids. I love her.
And we all do pills together.
And then we all get fucked up on everything at 11 a.m. Oh, my God. Shout out to AL.com. That's where I pulled that from. And the Fox station out of Huntsville and ABC. Because, like I said, if we don't got this beautiful face, I don't know. I don't know if the nation knows about this. But, yeah. And shout out to Dami for sending that to me and everybody else.
I got scars on my arm from the way that daddy raised me. I used to like to party until I got divorced. But them blue lines, the only thing that can save me. I used to be a cop till they kicked me off the force. I used to be a cop till they kicked me off the force.
a segment on this show where we talk about our guest's hometown. And today, Bill Conway joins us all the way from Hanson, Massachusetts, folks.
Right. The Hansville of Massachusetts.
The Hansville of Mass. That's right. Cranberry City.
That's right.
That's what they call it.
Bog Country, baby. It's where Ocean Spray was founded. All right?
Yeah. So Ocean Spray comes out of there. Did you spend time, because our friend George Coffey is also from Cranberry Country as well. And one of the things he told me was like, as a kid, he spent a lot of time like running around the cranberry bogs when they were dry.
Oh, yeah.
So is that like that's the thing?
There's really not much else you can do. So when the bogs are flooded, during the winter it freezes over. You go ice skating on the bogs. And during the summer when they're not flooded, you just have a little moat around it and you're just over there and you're fucking around because you're bog kids, and all the weirdos from your neighborhood, you're going to go to the bogs. You're going to try to catch a bullfrog or something like that and, see snapping turtles and shit. Yeah, always in the bogs. And when I finally got like a car when I was like 17, it's a GMC Jimmy.
Oh, dude, that's what I had when I was 17.
Hell yeah.
Did you have the 4x4?
Oh,
What
yeah.
year? What year?
1988, baby.
Oh, I had a 91.
Oh, nice.
Jimmy, baby. I still think about that car.
Yeah, drove up to the bogs and just ran over all the shit I could
Yes.
in
Hell
that
yeah.
thing. And I eventually got it stuck on a tree and had to call my mom, we got a tow truck and pull me off of there before the bog master caught us. But yeah.
Bogmaster.
Yeah. You got
I feel like the Bogmaster. I kind
looks
of
exactly like Eric.
sort of
yeah.
like Eric. Yeah, like a human Shrek.
But yeah, the Ocean Spray Cranberry Factory became it once they moved out wherever they went. I think they were eventually bought out by this guy. Yeah, that did
Yeah,
Evgeny.
Evgeny Broib by Cranberry Factory.
The building became rehearsal studios for every band that came out of like the South Shore of Massachusetts. So you'd rent a room in there, and the guy that was running it, the manager, was into pornography of the young kind, if you will.
Oh,
and then
barely legal?
Yeah, I would say not even so.
Oh, barely illegal?
Yeah,
Okay.
and when he got caught...
Fully illegal.
Fully illegal?
Yeah, fully illegal. And when he got caught, he blew his brains out in the building, in his office. So
An ocean spray,
Yeah.
if you will.
rest in piss, you piece of shit. But yes, and my brother took music lessons at this place. Thankfully, he was never like...
Jesus.
But yeah,
That's good.
Every band from Massachusetts, circa 1996 to like 2004, they did their rehearsing in the old Cranberry factory.
God damn. What are the bands that came out of there? Is there any like big ones?
I mean, not that you would know. I mean, there were certain bands of the time, like local bands, like my friends, the Automata, little metalcore for you. Terror Vigil was one that came out of there. They all worked at Taco Bell and they sucked, and so everybody called them Taco Vigil.
Taco Vigil. Dude, Taco Vigil's not a bad name. You get like a Day of the Dead theme going for Taco Vigil.
Yeah.
Fuck, let's do this. All right.
But I can't think. It was all bands that really never went anywhere.
Okay, right
just
on.
local scene.
No
stuff.
Boss Tones hanging out in the spray factory.
No,
nothing like that.
unfortunately not. I
Okay.
mean, but Aerosmith did like live one town over. Like Steven Tyler's lived in Marshfield, which is like one town over.
Oh,
but
okay.
it was
I like how in small towns that's a bragging thing.
Yeah.
One town over.
Hey,
Steven Tyler used to live there.
if we just drive over to this town, you might see Steven Tyler at the movies.
hey, I went to high school with the nephew of the guy who played bass for the Commodores.
Whoa.
Lionel Richie and the Commodores, Tuskegee, Alabama, 2 towns over. Hey, now.
Yeah, but that's basically all Hanson you have is like, this person was kind of close to us once.
Yeah.
But
I love that, though.
yeah.
So I started looking up because the first thing that jumped out at me when I was looking up stuff about Hanson is the guy that it's named for.
Oh, I don't know this one. Please.
Oh, it's fun. So Hanson, Massachusetts, is named for a guy who never lived there. It's actually a guy from Maryland, whose name was Alexander Conti Hanson. So
Conti.
It's just real cunty all the time.
Call me Conti from now on.
So he made his career talking shit about Thomas Jefferson and James Madison and then the War of 1812.
All right.
And he owned a paper in Baltimore called the Federal Republican, and he had a quote in there leading up to the War of 1812, because he was basically like, you're just going to war with Britain because you're Napoleon's bitch. How do you like that?
Oh, shit.
And he said, there is scarcely an act of tyranny and oppression complained of against George III which has not been committed by Jefferson and his political pimp, Whiffling Jimmy. Which
Whoa.
is a fucking barb at James Madison in 1812.
Jimmy. So politics has always been the same. Huh?
That's so funny. He had a little name. He's like, oh, you little whiffling Jimmy, you soft-spoken little bitch. You ain't got shit. But unfortunately, and I'm sure everybody knows this, Maryland ain't no place for a Federalist, and an angry mob burned down his offices and threw his printing press in the river, and he continued publishing the paper because he was insufferable.
Yeah, you can't keep Hanson down.
Hanson cannot take a hint, and he kept publishing the paper in a secret location until the mob found out where that was, and the mayor of Baltimore put him and his guys in jail to kind of protect them from the mob, but unfortunately they found out they were there, and Hanson and Robert E. Lee's father, Light Horse Harry Lee, both got dragged out of jail and beaten for about 3 hours by this mob.
Wow, that's a long time to be beaten.
Right. Like, do they take breaks?
I mean, there must be a lot of people they got in a line like Disneyland.
Yeah, it's like the Houston 500.
It kind of sounds like that. Based on everything I was reading, it was like just 3 hours of torture.
It's like, now let the kids get a turn.
All right, hold his fucking head still. Let Jimmy kick him in the face. They broke his back, both of his collarbones, both of his hands. They poked his face with a penknife and poured candle wax in his eyes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. They beat the fucking shit out of this guy, but he lived.
Yeah. I mean, that was by design, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
You don't do that for that long of time and not have the dude die. That's on purpose.
Well, they killed one of his guys. They beat one guy to death, but Robert E. Lee's dad and this guy both survived, but barely. Robert E. Lee's dad, they tried to cut his nose off, and he would die 6 years later. After the war became less and less popular, about a year later, though, Hanson looked like a fucking genius.
Yeah, and they repaired his back, took the wax out of his eyes.
Oh, he was so fucked up forever after this. Like I said, they broke his back, they broke both of his collarbones, which that's tough in 2025. Imagine 1812 having both of your collarbones broken by a mob, but he got elected to Congress.
Can't wipe your ass, broken collarbone.
Really?
Yeah, like it's.
I mean, they didn't bathe back then.
Yeah, that's gonna say.
Right. Yeah, probably just shit in a cranberry bog.
Wiping your ass hadn't been invented yet.
They sewed your pants on so you couldn't take them off, and then when they were full, that was when you was time to bathe.
Is that how they did it back then?
Yeah. As soon as you looked like the Michelin Man of poop, then it was time to bathe. He just filled them. But yeah, the war became less and less popular. This dude looked like a fucking genius after a year, and he got elected to Congress from Maryland.
How?
Because after
how did he serve?
They didn't have TV or cameras, so you couldn't see how ugly he was. So people were just voting for him.
Yeah, somehow they moved his broken, horrifying body to DC for a couple of years.
I guess that wouldn't be the first. This might be the first time it's happened where we need a decrepit body.
Yeah.
Maybe he could function still. I don't know. It seems mean that I'm saying this without knowing. But,
hey.
I mean, he had a town named after him. He must be a good guy.
He's got to be a great guy because it's a bog country.
Yeah. Well, the funniest shit is like he gets elected in 1813, presumably goes to Washington, which puts him in DC when the Capitol and the White House get burned down by the British, which I just have to imagine he was the most insufferable prick in DC at that point. Like, I fucking told you. I told all of you.
But he can't lift his arm up. He's just signaling with a little pointer like,
Right. Yeah, as they're hauling him away like he's Richard Nixon's head in a jar from Futurama, basically. He eventually became a senator in 1816 and died in 1819 at the age of 33. So it turns out...
the ripe age of 33.
Yeah, so of apoplexy.
What the fuck is that?
It's a stroke because you've been beaten for 3 hours straight by a mob.
Okay.
It
catches up with you later.
Yeah. Like, it is fair to say they were both... It didn't happen immediately, but fair to say this guy and Robert E. Lee's dad, which, by the way, made Robert E. Lee an orphan at the age of 12, so probably no historical repercussions from that. But fair to say they were both beaten to death. It just was a long fuse on that one. But yeah, meanwhile, in the town named for him, another free speech warrior is being oppressed right now, guys.
This is true. I know this one.
A guy in Hanson keeps projecting pro-Trump shit onto the town's water tower with a projector. And to combat this, because it's a city water tower and they don't want to seem biased, the city has been bringing in gas-powered lights and generators to flash them on the water tower. And no one's happy.
Yeah.
It's one of those unique things where it's like, you have found the perfect solution where it's like, well, you can't make everyone happy. Might as well make everyone angry. So the Trump guy with the projection, obviously he's pissed because you can't see his shit. Everyone else around is like, this is blinding me like the Kenny Rogers Roasters episode of Seinfeld plus generators keeping me up all night. I was like, it's perfect. This is what government's supposed to do. Piss everyone off across the board.
Yeah.
So,
when I saw this story, I still have family and friends that live in Hanson, and I was like, I'm not surprised that it's Trump country. It's small.
It's Boggs.
Yeah. Small town where the industry, which was Boggs, is now gone, basically. All the bogs have run dry. And
they think the big city folk don't care about them.
Yeah, it's true.
Because they just think, oh, that's where the bogs are.
Yeah. Baba.
We're not
Make
going
America
near those
bogs
bogs.
again.
What I don't understand is that the water tower is public property. It belongs to the town. And now this guy is projecting this from his private property. He just happens to live next to it.
Yeah.
Like, something has to be different. Like, no, you just simply can't do that, you fucking weirdo. Like,
Right.
It's a social contract, but...
yeah. Well, they're finding him $100 a day every time he does it.
Okay.
And so he went from, originally the projection said Trump 2024, and then when Trump won, he changed it to the Punisher skull with Trump's hair on the top, man.
God.
Dumb as fuck. And Trump's gonna come and get all those woke leftists out of Hanson.
Yeah. Get him out of my bog. Get him the hell out of my bogs. Yeah. I thought when you told me you were from Hanson, I was like, that kind of sounds familiar. And I realized it is from the old Hitchin Post episode of Kitchen Nightmares.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So Gordon Ramsay came in to help this restaurant.
How many restaurants would you say they have in that town?
Not including McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts?
Sure, yeah.
0.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking.
There's bars and stuff.
Have you eaten at this place, the old Hitchin Post?
Probably have. It was definitely nothing like while I was like a consumer where it'd be like, hey guys, we're going to the old Hitchin Post.
Yeah. This is just my favorite clip from the episode.
I dare you, go out in your dining room and tell your customers that you're serving that.
No, I'm not going to do that.
You got no balls, have you?
I got a lot of balls. Mine is bigger and stronger.
Yours is bigger and stronger.
Wow.
His balls are bigger and stronger.
Yeah, that's how balls work.
That's right, yes.
I like when they go to the, I'll beat your ass. We covered this last week with a Yelp review.
Oh, yeah.
Some of you got very angry. Possibly feelings of violence. That happens too on Kitchen Nightmares, where Gordon Ramsay shows up and they act like Gordon wasn't going to talk shit to their face or something. Then they weren't prepared for it.
I always love that.
They haven't seen the show before. They're going to come in and say this is great. 5 stars.
This is the episode where nothing's wrong. We were wrong.
Kitchen Nightmares, you say? Well, you just must be showing us the what they're supposed to look like.
The only thing close to that ever happens is sometimes there's their quote unquote signature dish, and he's like, "This is great." Lose literally everything else about what you're doing. That's the rarest Kitchen Nightmares episode, but yeah, usually it's very similar to this one.
I saw one where he liked one thing and then found out it was a frozen item.
Well, this one, the other famous line, and this one is of course the seafood is all fucked up, and he's like, "Smell this," and the guy smells it. He goes, "Oh, it's ocean fresh," and he's like, "You're fucking deluded," you fucking donut. So, but speaking of restaurants, people on Yelp hate Gunther's Tootie Bagels.
Oh, I don't even know this.
The town's blowing up since you left.
Okay, that's in Pembroke.
It's on Church Street in nearby Pembroke. I did just look for the Yelp the restaurant with the lowest rating, and
part of Tri-Town. Pembroke, Hanson, and Halifax. Yeah, it's fine.
I believe it.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, have you ever heard of Gunther's Tootie Bagels?
I don't know. I'm so curious now about.
Sounds like that's such an amazing place. I'm going to Gunther's Tootie Bagels. bagels.
I want to see where this is.
Well, I've got some fun reviews.
Yeah.
So this is just a light sampling of bad reviews for this place, and most of the reviews are bad. My family stopped and got 3 bagels last Sunday morning at Tootie's. When I bit into my second half, I bit into some kind of stone. I immediately called the store to inform them, and the manager got on the phone to say if anything was in it, it was probably just a hair.
No, that's one of those rock hard hairs.
It's one of those stone hairs that everyone talks about. Also, I like that he's still just confessing, like, no, it wasn't a stone. It was, if anything, it was definitely a hair.
We definitely get shit in the bagels all the time.
Not rocks. That's crazy.
Yeah, we're going to carry rocks in from the outside. Wouldn't happen.
Cigarette butt, yes. Stone, out of your mind. Out of your mind.
Cube? Sure.
Very disappointed and hoping my tooth isn't cracked. Terrible customer service. Now,
there's multiple
They
locations.
seemed more upset with the customer service than the stone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because the owner was probably like, fuck you. And I could say that based on the next couple of things. So there's one, and see if you could just pick up on a pattern here. There's one thing that this owner really fucking hates when people do. So this next review, I brought my coffee from another place inside, and the manager proceeded to scream in my face that, quote, "This is a coffee place. Do not bring other coffee inside here and get out." And I want people in, warmer climes to keep in mind, Massachusetts in the winter, fuck you. I'm going to keep the shit in my hand so they don't freeze. Eat my ass.
I mean, I barely, a sliver of me gets it. But
he does sell coffee.
But on the other hand, it's like, this guy was going to come in and buy something from you that now you're going to miss out on a sale.
Yeah, he didn't come in to sit down at the table and be like, I'm writing a screenplay today here in Pembroke,
And all I'm having is coffee.
Right. Also, telling people from the suburbs of Boston to not carry around a cup of fucking donkeys.
Right.
It's like telling the beach not to have sand. Like, it's who we are as people. This one says, when I visited the store today with my son, I happened to be holding a cup of Starbucks in my hand.
Oh.
And I didn't want it to get cold in the car while I was waiting for my food. A man walked by while cleaning up around me and said, "Starbucks, huh?"
He thinks about this all the time.
It's just like, who cares? I said, I was waiting for my food, and he said to my face in front of my son, yelling, "You don't disrespect me!" I have always told my son to solve problems with words and not fists, so I backed off, saying, "Sir, I am sorry, but I bought food here and I'm waiting for it. I love your place. Your food is great." He was mad at me and the fact that I had a cup of Starbucks in my hand.
Wow.
So it turns out this place actually is not far from where I used to work in Marshfield. It's near a pizza place called Poopsies, which was really...
Wait, so there's Tooties and Poopsies.
Yeah, and Poopsies was good pizza, from what I remember. Everybody liked Poopsies.
I'm going to get a fart bagel and a shit pizza.
I was just going to say, Rivers would not stop giggling if you took him to this place.
Oh, yeah.
It would be crazier than the roller coaster laugh.
I would be choking and dying on my pizza while I was laughing eaing Poopies.
Poopsies.
Oh, sorry.
Poopies.
It's close enough still.
Yeah.
He can't handle anything related to that.
This last one here, and as much as I want to say this owner is kind of crazy, with this one I'm like, I don't know, I think I would have done the same thing to this lady. She says, I ordered a bagel and I went to pay, and a man with crossed arms says, "No card." My bagel was $1.95, and he said it had to be $2 or more. I never carry cash on me. And then I said, "Well, I guess I'm not going to eat here." And his response should have been, "Well, we can take your card this time, but no for next time." But instead, he said, "Great, I don't care if you don't eat here." It's like, all right, hell yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to use their payment system, I guess that's kind of the appropriate response.
Yeah. I love that she's like, "Well, you should have said this." It's like, no, he should have said whatever he wants.
Hey, she doesn't understand banking fees. The guy's losing money if she runs that card, all right?
This was the owner, Tony Chin. And I started to say, "My parents own their own business." And then he cut me off and said, "I don't care that your parents own their own business." I'm like, fuck yeah, Tony.
I mean, that's the ultimate thing to be like, well, my parents would have done something different.
My mommy would have accommodated me in this very specific way. He was yelling at me, and I could barely understand him with his heavy accent. And it was,
racist.
Fuck you, lady. It sounds like you understood him perfectly. bitch. Take your shit elsewhere. It was very scary because I was the only customer there besides the girls behind the counter. I couldn't believe he was the owner of this place. It was awful how he treated me. I will never step foot in this place again. And I tell everyone now about my awful experience. Very scary man. Needs anger management. Should not be a business owner.
Wow. Yeah.
I was like, actually, I like him now.
Yeah. I think Tony has a point. All right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's hard to believe she's a reliable narrator in this situation.
Oh, yeah.
I had some friends that worked at Papagino's. That was the local chain of pizza places.
The competitor to Poopsies.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. Every time he says it, he's going to laugh. He can't help himself, even though it's not funny. No one in the world would laugh except for him and a 7-year-old.
Everybody's out there laughing.
Papagino's was like the quick one, you know, it's like rival to Domino's, but Poopsies, that was high end. All right. You go to with your family to Poopsies. But my friends that worked at this Papagino's, you could like type notes on the receipts or whatever, you know, and like when they would print out, and a lady called and complained, and somebody like typed into the note like this lady sucks whale dick or something like that. And, like it printed out on the receipt, like they didn't realize, and then she saw that, and sure enough, they all got fired.
All of them?
Yeah.
That's like the whole police department.
Yeah.
But they were also doing meth, steroids, and a variety of other things.
Every time you see one of those online, I feel bad for the people who get insulted, but also as a kitchen employee, restaurant employee, it's like you're so bored. You're doing anything, and you start loathing customers for no reason before they've even done anything wrong. You're just like, I hate you for being here.
Well, it's like the people that's like, well, we close at 9, and they come in at 8:57. They're like, it says you close at 9. It's like, we already fucking cleaned the entire, but like we're not. So you close at 9, so the doors are shut, and I get my food, and then it's like, no, fuck you. 8:30 is when we. I leave at 9. 8:30 is when we closed, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I worked at a place like that, and a lady came in, I think with 3 minutes, something like that. And they're like, we're closing in 3 minutes. And she's like, oh, man, well, that's okay. I'll just like take it to go. I'll just order some food and take it to go. And they're like, no, everything's shut down. This isn't a wait till the fucking clock hits 9 exactly. And then she was like astonished that we wouldn't do it.
Wrote a Yelp review about like these people wouldn't bad for business. My parents own a business and they stay open.
They would have served me specifically because I was hungry for pancakes.
When I go to Poo Poo Sandwich Mart, I demand to be treated like a goddess.
You're gonna have to show Poopsie some respect, okay? Great pizza.
Put the poopy in your mouth. Do it now.
Not funny at all.
Oh, I'm having a great time. You gotta have your own fun.
I mean, comedy's subjective.
That's a subjective
That's
art
what I tell
form.
people all the time when I'm bombing.
That's right. Well, Bill, let's get into these questions about Hanson, Massachusetts. Question 1. What was the incident?
There wasn't a thing that really affected a lot of people that I know of. I mean, I already mentioned one of them, the guy with child pornography.
The ocean spray. Yeah.
That could be qualified as it. In neighboring town, Abington, all of the police officers were banned from going to the coffee shop Mary Lou's because Mary Lou's would hire... None of us would get a job at Mary Lou's, let's just say. But if you were an attractive 16, 17-year-old girl, you're getting hired at Mary Lou's, and all the cops would go to Mary Lou's, and maybe a couple of cops were caught in their cars with some of these women from Mary Lou's. So the Abington police were banned from going to Mary Lou's.
Not fired, though.
No. They're just, hey, guys, you can't go
Not
to where
while
the
you're
underage...
on the clock.
Now, if they were giving the underage girl steroids, then immediately dismissed.
game.
Yeah,
I like how you tried to like let us down. Like guys like us would never get hired there. And I was like, what's wrong with us? I was like, no, they're pervs. Of course we would never get hired there unless they're a way, way different type of perv.
Yeah. Like, it would be strange, like, if the hiring manager just like, it's all teenage girls, and then there's Sam. Like, yeah, the guy that hires people on the weekends is into much different. But for the most part, my town, it was just, once heroin came through, it just killed everybody. So, you know, like, it was just... but really, there wasn't that major scandal or anything like that that rocked and let you know that there's darkness.
I also have no answer to this question. Like, people come in often and have this kind of response. I also don't know what I would say.
Yeah.
Nothing that interesting happened.
I mean, my go-to is always just like a full like quarter of my class got kicked out for dealing and doing Adderall, just open drug market basically my freshman year. And it was just me going into high school, which is already anxiety ridden enough. And then it's just people selling pills in the quad like, oh, wow. All right. High school's pretty crazy, right, guys? And then the next month it's like, hey, we noticed you got kids doing that, so half of you are gone.
And then everyone in the school knew about it for like forever.
Well, yeah, because it was like, it was like the rapture. Like half of us just disappeared. You're like, oh, they got to.
And then they're like
state senators now.
Yeah, they're like patrolling for looking for it now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we never had anything like that lasted. You know, none of the incidents were big enough to where people kept fucking talking about it later.
Yeah.
Unless it was like, remember that time? It wasn't like, God, I can't believe we haven't got over that yet.
Well, we had like a psychotic, assistant principal who would be on the roof of the school with binoculars, like watching the children for drug deals going down. And you just see him up there. His name was Mr. Weeks. It was like, oh, there's 00 Weeks fucking doing spy shit up there. Like, well, we know you're there now,
So my senior year of high school also coincided with the premiere of Jackass on television.
Oh,
so,
shit, yeah.
Like, everybody, the Jackass crew all came from the skateboard world, Big Brother magazine and CKY videos. So if you were a skateboarder, you'd known about them for 3-4 years.
Sure.
Whatever. But then all of a sudden it went mainstream. And so everybody was trying to do these things and who could be like the most prankster. And a guy I knew next town over of Whitman, Massachusetts, where the chocolate chip cookie was invented.
Oh, hey now.
I'm going to go there.
At the Toll House. Which burned down.
Oh, never mind. I don't want to go there anymore. I've had their cookies.
Yeah, I had the original Toll House. But so friend Pat, a skateboarder friend of mine, he brought a bunch of lobsters in to school and then like put them in the thing where you grab your Coke, so somebody would buy a Coke and they reach down, there's a lobster. Oh, crazy, right?
Yeah.
But then he also, just to ramp it up, he also took a shit in the bathroom and then wrote poop on the wall with his own shit. So that's the type of funny stuff. Hilarious.
Classic Jackass prank where you play with your own shit.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's a weird way. I knew kids who wanted to jump off roofs into bushes and shit like that, but
the shopping carts in the parking lot. But
of course, everyone wanted to be Bam Margera.
Current Bam Margera.
Yes, absolutely.
I get offended when people are like Jackass Big Brother are the ones who sold the show, but that first season, watch that first season, it's all CKY footage.
Yeah,
there's like 1 or 2 stunts an episode that the California boys did. It's all Bam Margera. I get his ego about it.
Bam was funny, but his Brandon Decamillo was the funniest one, and he bailed on it early because he didn't want to make Jeff Tremaine a bunch of money, and he was the funniest. Watch the old CKY and CKY2K videos. He will make you laugh your ass off to this day.
He realized that the Hollywood guys were douchebags before everyone else did, or at least was like, I'm going to take a stand for this at least. I don't want to get fucked over, hurt myself, hurt my friends, and this dude who's like signs a contract that says you can't prank me.
Yeah.
It makes all the money. Yeah.
And he's just like a chef somewhere in Pennsylvania now, I guess.
Good for him.
Yeah. Support it.
Question 2, local legend.
See, this is a tough question for me to answer. Because
Steven Tyler, 2 towns over.
Yeah.
In Hanson, for a time, it might have been me.
Word? Okay.
For skateboarding. And this is a thing that I've heard, is like people would come up to me and be like, hey, did you do that handrail at Massasoit Community or Bunker Hill Community College? Like, I've never even looked at that. Like, people would make up stories of like the skateboard tricks that I was doing. And
so you're the Paul Bunyan of skateboarding there.
I was like, I've never even been there. And then so even recently, within the last 3 months, somebody came up to me, like a new friend who was also from Massachusetts, but we didn't know each other back then. He was asking me about the story about a fight that my friends and I got in Boston College, where the hockey team got beat up by my friends. I wasn't even involved in it, but tells another friend about the story, and that friend, even newer friend, comes up to me. He's like, "Was it true you knocked out the captain of the Boston College hockey team?" Like, what, me? No, what?
Brent the legend.
Like, that is not even close to how the story went down. I was like, the fight broke out. I pulled my younger brother out into the hallway. I was like, I can't get you beat up and then have my mom kick our ass. So we're going to just watch this fight happen and then we're going to leave. That was the story.
You walked away unscathed.
Yeah,
That's what people remember.
Just watched my friends fight the Boston College hockey team and they kicked the shit out of them.
Good.
I think it might have been the JV team. I don't think they were the real guys. These guys were small.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, no offense to skateboarders, but if it's skateboarders versus hockey players, I'll side with the hockey
maybe
guys.
it was like freshman JV team because I was like looking at these guys like, no, come on.
Skaters have a lot of anger.
That's true.
Yeah,
I had a lot of BMX friends too. So
right, but it's not part of the sport.
No, it's what drives you to the streets to grind and flip.
Right. But like hockey has fighting built in.
But my dad was actually a guy around our small town. He was a raging alcoholic and got in many fights. And when he died, people would come up to my brother and I and tell us the stories of like in the Damien's parking lot. I'm surprised Damien's didn't come up in your research.
Yeah, what is Damien's?
It's just a dive bar. It's
okay.
One time he was drunk and he backed into a motorcycle and it was like the leader of like the Mongols or something like that. And then when they fought, my dad put up such a good fight that they became best friends after that, Holy shit. But he was never like a motorcycle guy. So it's like one of those things like, I don't know if this is true. My dad's dead. I can't ask him about this. And when I try to bring it up with my mom, she's like, why do you want to know this? It's like,
what do you mean? Why do I want to know this?
Seems like an interesting story.
Yeah, because you're going to find a part of it out that you're like, wish I didn't know that.
He was best friends with the guy that ran Priority Music that blew his head. Like, oh God, stop talking.
Jesus.
But no, but let me see if I can find a photo of some of my dad's exploits because he was known around town to get in drunk fights, and then he would go and get his photo taken.
Oh God!
After he got the shit beaten out of him.
Holy shit, dude!
And then like that's his face after getting
oh my God,
beaten up. Swollen, but it was like.
Did he always claim he won?
Well, that was the thing.
Should have seen the other guy.
That was like the thing is like when these photos, my mother would be like, "You should have seen the other guy, though." Like it wasn't him saying it. It was just like somebody else being like, "Yeah, he won that fight."
Should have seen the leader of the Mongols motorcycle gang.
How did he pass away?
Mysterious circumstances at work, where he was poisoned or had a heart attack. One or the other.
Oh, the guy with the Mongols dies under mysterious circumstances.
Fuck. God damn.
Sorry to hear that.
It's ancient history. I never even think about it. But it happened on Father's Day of all days.
Shit.
Yeah, crazy, But yeah. So that's. I mentioned that my family's a family of tragedy.
Yeah.
There's more, but we won't get into it.
Well, you might have just answered this, but hey, I'll throw it out there. What about number 3? Worst bar.
Worst bar is Damien's. Probably.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And it was right on this weird corner that of an intersection. The main road took this corner around, and there was 2 streets that come out of it, and it was blind corners for you to pull out. Accidents always happening in front of that, and then drunk people pulling out of this parking lot. It was just accident after accident after accident in this little intersection. But Damien's is a place like none of my friends, like once they got to drinking age, were ever like, we want to go there. It was just like it's where our parents go to get drunk. Like we're not going there.
Oh, that's rough. If it's a dive bar with like older people there.
Yeah. And not even like a cool but the cool spots were in Boston, like the Model or the Silhouette. Like that's where everybody of a certain age went to get drunk as soon as they turned 21. Be like, yeah, it's a cool dive bar. It's authentic, And
cool, did you start stand up in Massachusetts or not till you got to San
Francisco? Like 3 months before you got there, I think.
Yeah, I'll always remember you told me I started the day Steve Jobs died.
Yeah.
So always very easy to remember when you started. But yeah, okay.
World needed to laugh.
Have you since gone back and done any stand up in Boston or anything like that?
A couple times, where friends came out, but it was never. Nothing like to write home about or anything like that.
Because sometimes it is just funny ending up in those shitty bars. You're like, this place fucking sucks. And then cut to like 10 years later, you're like, doing a show, $10. Come out to this horrible place.
I need 15 people to show up.
Yeah, I really need people to come watch me here. Number 4, best local food.
Nothing.
Is it
nothing?
Is it poopsies?
It might be poopsies.
The thing about Massachusetts, it cannot be stressed enough is none of the food has ever been or will ever be good at any point.
I watch a show or clips of a show about food in the Boston area sometimes, and everything's the same.
Yeah.
Almost. It's like meat covered in cheese, either with sauce, with pasta, with fries.
Yeah.
It's like the most American food you can imagine, and the fact that they've like taken Italian food and just made it fat as fuck.
Yeah.
There's a specific style of pizza that is centered in the South Shore of Massachusetts, pub style pizza, which is like you just picture a Mama Celeste style pizza.
Oh, okay,
very thin crust.
Right.
Thin, yeah.
Cut into squares and shit.
No, it's personal pan cut in shapes, and it's almost like
I'm thinking of tavern.
Yeah.
Sorry.
huge difference.
Bar pizza. I think Chicago has something like that too.
Yeah, but very thin crust, and there's like great debates on who has the best one, and a lot of people say Venus.
Well, here's the thing about those type of pizzas: they're worse than regular pizza.
Yes,
all of them, and no one ever wants to discuss that aspect of it.
Terrible. Like
they're for drunk people.
That's exactly what it is. It's just to get something else in your stomach,
so you can drink more.
Yes.
Question 5. Local ghosts or monsters.
So when I was a kid around the bogs.
The bogs. There's got to be some bog goblins.
There was
bog witches.
A rumor of a giant snapping turtle named Big Ben. Said to be as big as a man. And that the one person that almost caught it was able to stab a knife into its shell. So it would have, if you ever saw Big Ben, it's because because it had a knife sticking out of its shell.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And nobody ever really saw Big Ben as far as I know.
Damn.
Yeah.
But also in the South Shore of Massachusetts, there is a very interesting thing called the Bridgewater Triangle.
Yes. Bridgewater.
Which has, cryptids and all that stuff, which I wasn't even aware of when I lived there. It wasn't until I was in my 30s that I heard somebody mention the Bridgewater Triangle. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, check out, we did a Ghosts and Monsters episode with John Ungaro, who's from that area as well. And I did a whole thing on the Bridgewater Triangle. Basically, it's, the song Monster Mash. Mm-hmm. It's that, but everybody says it's just every monster that exists is in this one area.
Thunderbirds, of course. There's got to be a Thunderbird.
Snapping turtle the size of a Volkswagen, a fucking giant snake. There's UFOs, fucking Bigfoots, something called mugwumps or something. There's little trolls that talk to you and lead you into the swamp and stuff. It's fucking
not
awesome.
From people eating fermented cranberries and or anything like that. This is legit.
Oh yeah,
this is like the rare cryptid stuff that actually is real.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Made a whole documentary about it. It's on Amazon. It's actually, that's the perfect way to describe the Bridgewater Triangle. It's not a Netflix paranormal documentary. It's an Amazon paranormal documentary where you can tell it's some guy made it himself and threw it up there. And the last one, favorite thing that's not there anymore.
See, that's another tough one because the town never changes.
Yeah, it's a damn projection on the water tower. They keep taking it down.
That's the thing I miss. I miss the pre-election Trump thing getting... I don't want the Trump Punisher skull.
I'll take the election sign.
There was a place next town over that it was like local ice cream place called Peaceful Meadows, and it was the best place because they said they made the ice cream there, which I think they lied about it, but they did have cows on the premises, so you could
perfect.
They had like a Reese Cup Blizzard type of thing that was knock your dick in the dirt. It was good, but then you could go in and see some baby cows and stuff, and you could feed them hay, and it was really nice. It was quaint that you didn't see the animal torture. Just the
non-factory farming.
Yes. It was family farming. So they closed down a couple years back, and I mean I'm vegan now, so I wouldn't go there anyway. But that was great stuff.
I bet they've probably got a cashew milk ice cream situation maybe going on.
Rivers, when's the last time you left LA? That shit does not happen in other parts of the country. No, it doesn't.
In some of in Boston, I fucking guarantee.
This isn't Boston.
It's 20 miles away from Boston.
I tried to explain to my mother the concept of oat milk, and she's like, why?
Yeah. Dude, there's places in LA that don't even have it.
Yeah.
They're not having that shit in the middle of nowhere.
I don't know. Sometimes they got
not sometimes. times.
Yeah, they got vegan options in Auburn.
Sam is right. It is.
Rivers hates to be wrong. They don't have oat milk in Hanson, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Do you mean cran milk? Like, nope. I didn't say cran milk.
Yeah. The small town I'm from does have a university, so it's a little more
woke.
A little more woke, a little more cosmopolitan.
With
it is.
oat milk.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
Oat milk by itself tastes like shit.
Yeah.
It tastes so bad.
It's bad. All of the schools like from were like named after like Native American things. So like it's like all problematic names, you know,
Sure,
too. So there's no wokeness in Hanson. Okay, they get that mind virus out of my town.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't want cruelty free. We want extra cruel milk.
Yeah, the adrenochrome you can taste in the milk, you know, when they're terrified.
Yeah. Come on down to Screaming Heifer right next to Poopsie Doopsie. Hell yeah. Well, that is a tour of Bill Conway's Hanson, Massachusetts.
One taste of the ocean spray cranberry, and people will say just about anything.
Sweet tart.
The sweet tart taste of ocean spray cran drinks. It's amazing what a little cran can do. And now, there's a little cran for people on the go. Ocean spray singles.
Y'all, we have time for just one more segment. And of course, this is our jam of the week.
Oh, I know why you picked this.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I wanted something, we're talking Boston. We're talking Massachusetts. I wanted something wicked awesome. Did I say wicked? No, I meant wickin' awesome.
Not the one who's so far away.
Brockton, Massachusetts own.
Hell yeah. This is motherfucking Godsmack. Oh, and it takes forever for this to get going. But of course, this is off of their, I just found out, 1997 album, self-titled Godsmack. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
This is one of those CDs where if you went to a used CD store, they'd always have like a million fucking copies of.
All right. I bet we could all, having grown up in this time period and gone to lots of CDs, when you think a used bin overflowing with a CD, what do you think of Bill Conway?
Well, now that Godsmack's in my head, it's almost essential. Like this is, it's there, but probably some sort of Whitney Houston greatest hits or something like that is what I picture in my head. But
mine immediately, Chumbawamba, Big Willie style.
Oh, yeah.
And this.
Oh, Hootie and the Blowfish might be one in there.
Dave Matthews.
D.A.B. Yeah, absolutely.
I remember seeing all the time that Green Jelly album that has the cool album cover with the city. I think people would buy that for the album cover and then be like, fuck this, actually. I'm just selling it.
Or they listen to the Three Little Pigs song, like, I like this, and then all the other songs sound completely different. You're like, oh, it's a Kiss ripoff band. They fucking suck.
Well, of course, this song comes off of, as we said, the 1997 self-titled album, Godsmack. And this song has 118 million views, 22,230 comments, and I've read every goddamn last one of them. So now, let us briefly dive down into the comment section for Godsmack's Voodoo. First up, 65 Coop Stang, 5 months ago.
Wow, recent.
And this is all caps. Never in a million years did I think that I'd be where I'm at, sitting here listening to Voodoo with a drastically severe head injury.
It's the best way to enjoy it.
It's the only way. Yeah.
I mean, you don't picture yourself having a drastic head injury usually when you don't have one.
No, you couldn't have possibly foreseen this.
And if you think
reality.
if I was ever to have one, I'd forget about Godsmack.
But not me.
Wrong.
Not me. Not in a million years do I forget about Godsmack.
Come out of that coma. Does Godsmack still exist? Like, oh, we got good news for you.
Hey, that guy that Godsmack on the CD. My favorite was because I pulled this from a couple of versions of this song off YouTube. The one that's the straight rip from the CD is like 10 minutes long because it's got like a bunch of silence and then like a little hidden thing at the end.
Yeah.
And it was just fun seeing Gen Z people and Gen A people being like, why is there all this silence? It's like, oh, let me tell you about a compact disc, son. Christina Sorolla from 10 months ago. This is drunk song for me. My nephews all laugh at me, and and I don't understand.
Sorry,
I just
Christina.
love a lady just, I'm not the one, and it's just a fucking, all the kids are laughing at her. twirling.
Oh, that's drunk
She thinks
Aunt
she's Stevie
Christina.
Nicks,
You know she twirls.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
definitely is knocking shit over with her fucking arms and hips and shit, maneuvering around.
yeah. She still sleeps in the basement, like sort of
She's always-
situation.
The kids are like, Mommy, I don't like this.
It's not really the aunt. It's just like a good friend that she can't.
She's always spinning around. John Hoban from 2 days ago. I've been sober for years, but I'm in my 50s. I very much want for the snake bite in my veins. But there's no real venom anymore, just Chinese fentanyl. It's not the same. I want to fly on the dragon so bad.
Damn. Heroin's rough. It fucks with your brain.
Yeah.
He's how many years sober? Oh, he just says years.
Yeah. He said he's in his 50s, so presumably a while.
I guess there's enough of like a weird trancey vibe to the chorus that you're like, do heroin.
Well, the line.
This isn't heroin music to me.
Well, there's a line. It's like, I feel the snake bite in my veins. So a lot of people think it is like a heroin song.
Yeah, Sully Erna was a junkie. So
Yeah, that's fair enough. We got a lot of Sully stuff, by the way, coming up. This is Rachel Rins 5 years ago. Samuel like this. Blare this while smoking the giggle bush, sitting in a demon circle. Now that's a good time.
Wait, what's a demon circle?
I don't know. I think it's like...
I mean, when you're making up, no one even says devil's lettuce or anything like that. So
Wait, you don't say giggle bush?
Giggle bush. These are just people that make up. Sometimes when you're high on drugs, it's fun to make up little words and terms that don't exist. I mean, that's how slang happens a lot of the time. But no one's ever getting on that giggle bush train.
Yeah, I gotta call up my giggle bush dealer real quick.
Maybe they are smoking some like gas station sprayed K2 shit.
Suzanne Devine, and this one's 6 years ago. Sully Erna, you can voodoo all over me. What a hot man you are.
Jeez, what do you think she's implying by you can voodoo all over me?
I don't know. I don't like it though.
All over me, because it can't be just fuck.
No,
you can fuck all over me.
Yeah.
Maybe she means piss or cum or bleed.
That's probably piss.
Yes. Come on over. You can poopsie on me.
Sully, come here, dude.
Sully, what are you doing?
Sully Erna here.
I love this guy's name, Big White Nuts, from 2 months ago.
He chose that screen name, and it's like he's locked into it.
He thought it was awesome. Sully's head is the same width as his neck. Looks like a serpent man.
Hell yeah. All right. Yeah, he's got that snake bite in his veins and everything.
Voldemir, 11 years ago. No song will ever have a better drum beat ever. How the fuck does Sully sing so deep? He's not a big guy, and his speaking voice isn't that low. I am aroused.
Oh,
Hell yeah, Voldemir. Along similar lines, Timothy Peterson, 2 years ago. Hey, Sully, Haverhill, Mass. Haverhill, Mass. Party time. Anyway, I still love cold beer, and I'm 59.
Yeah, all right. Well, it's party in Haverhill with Timothy, man.
You know, just keeping people abreast of the situation in Haverhill.
Do you think Sully scans the comments? He's like, "Where are the parties at?"
Well, that's
11 years ago. Fuck.
That's the funny part is people definitely think they're going to see it. And what's one thing to be like, let's party, and it's another thing to be like, I'm 59, let's party. It totally changes the dynamic of what the party is going to be like. It's just going to be the 59-year-old having like 4 beers and then being so annoying and ranty about whatever he's thinking about.
Rivers, well, when was that comment made? The 59-year-old? 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago.
Okay, so 61
61.
now.
Might still be alive.
Still hanging. Caleb Wero from 1 month ago. My dad always claimed he was in this music video, but I couldn't point him out. Then again, he also claims he knew Sully because they were in the same witchcraft coven. I don't know, but I kind of doubt it nowadays. It's like, I love a guy who's reached an adult. It's like, is my dad full of shit?
I can tell you right now, not a single member of Godsmack was in a witch coven at any point. They may have been locals at a bar.
Yeah.
In the demon circle with Giggle Bush.
Yeah. Smoking the Giggle Bush. Floyd Carbuncle.
You know, I used to hang out with rock stars, right, kid? You know that. I was in a witch's coven with Sully.
He plays at the Worcester Palladium, okay? Yes. Big venue.
Stop talking to me after they blew up.
Floyd Carbuncle from 9 months ago. Obviously, it's entertaining, but breathe in. I just think it's not something teenagers should dwell on, but I'm not sure, okay? I'm fine with this. And a 6-pack of beer and a handgun.
Wait.
I was like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Is this guy anti-breathing? But pro-gun?
I think that he likes the song even though it's from the devil, and now he's drinking and he has a gun. I was like, this is a concoction of bad. All of this is bad.
It seems like internet commenters might not know what they're talking about a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah. Or just that Floyd is he's probably the guy with the projector, frankly. The projector guy's probably got a similar vibe, I'm guessing.
Party in Hanson. I'm 59.
This might make teenagers suicidal. Not me, though. Cold beer and a gun. I'm fine.
I got a couple more here.
Anybody else's gun taste weird?
Theodore Webb, 6 years ago, Godsmack's Voodoo has that real Roman centurion beat. You know, that worrisome beat that lets you know that the battle is on. It's my favorite song for when I'm pissed off.
Oh, yeah. Dude, this is my pissed off song, you know?
It's pretty fucking low-key, like, not that hardcore.
No, it's...
Dude,
I think this is if you want to keep the rage inside.
Yeah.
Dude, when my wife and I get in a fight, if I start playing Voodoo, she knows, like, I fucked up. Yeah.
Along similar lines, Bobby Sanchez, 15 years ago, good song, not a pump-up song, but something to make you feel like you don't need anybody, and you're the only person who does it right.
Hell yeah.
The anthem of solipsism, folks. Yes, absolutely.
Man, that's a sad life to have that thought about this song.
About any song. It's like, even being like Beethoven's Fifth Symphony makes me feel like I'm the only person on earth. Everyone else is just my slave.
I mean, I guess I'm maybe trying to lose the tone I think it may. Is it positive? You feel like you don't need anyone positively.
Right. In a good way.
But then the next part is narcissistic if you're being sincere.
And you're the only person who does it right. Yeah. This is Alex Siege 9 months ago. This feels like someone tells you you can't sing at all, but then you sing your soul right out and tell them, fuck you.
Love not so far away. And you say I can't sing? You say I can't sing? I literally, when I would hear this song as a kid, I never could know what the fuck they were saying. I would always try to figure it out, too.
I just know, I'm not the one so far away. That's it. That's the only line I got.
I mean, this was played on so many rock stations in Massachusetts. Every word locked in.
Yeah.
What are they saying in the chorus?
I'm not the one who's so far away.
Yeah.
There's no more than that?
Yeah. When I feel the snake bite enter my veins.
Okay, that's the part I could never understand.
So far away, and I feel the snake bite into my veins.
Okay, maybe this is about heroin. Now that I'm singing it, oh boy.
Well, what would like the funny term you come up for heroin when you're high on that? Being like a little bug juice for you?
Monkey water.
Oh, there we go.
That's what they call it, unfortunately.
Faye Asia, 15 years ago. I love Godsmack, regardless of what people think and such. Just like my life, I don't care what people think or what they call me. It's what I answer to. One word I do answer to is bitch.
Hell yeah, that's a bumper sticker.
Because I stand up for myself, my way of life, and what I believe in.
I need a shirt that says, don't talk to me until you've called me bitch.
If people don't like it, then it's miss bitch to them.
Oh, shit.
I'm not judgmental. Show respect and you get it back. Don't like it, there's the door. Don't let it hit your ass. Have you checked out Sully's new solo album? It fucking rocks.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, add me so we can chat. Talk to you later, sugar.
Who's she talking to?
You.
Okay.
The listener. It's like, hey, I am a bitch, but I do love to chit-chat, so give me a message.
It's hard to believe Sully's solo work is good.
Yeah, no. I'd say it's hard to believe his work would be bad if anybody has, listening to his work with Godsmack. But I do love the people that are like, everybody hates me and I seem to be the problem, but that's their problem. You know?
Oh, yeah.
That's where you go to if you have no one in your life who will listen to you. YouTube.com and you type in Godsmack. And all your friends are there. All the possibilities of talking to anyone in the world are there.
I'm 59.
Let's party.
And finally, we've got a poem here from the Oklahoma City Kid from 6 years ago, so 2019. And you'll never guess where this is going.
Pre-COVID, I hope.
Yeah, it's 2019. Oklahoma City Kid 6 years ago. Let's not pretend. We all know that the world is coming to an end. What if there was a possibility of a chance? Will you dance? Or sit this one out? How do you eat this without a spit out? Such a bitter taste, a hurried pace. Well, there's a woman with a plan, asking us to take her hand. Doesn't take a college degree to understand. There's this woman preaching peace all across the land.
God, who's it going to be?
War, the gore, we all fall to the floor. Help in these wars. Vote for Tulsi Gabbard, 2019. Wrote a whole fucking Dr. Seuss ass poem.
The gore.
She was a Democrat at that point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I wonder what Oklahoma City Kid is up to now. He's smoking the demon bush.
Have you ever responded to one of these?
I have not, no.
One time I responded to a guy on a DJ Screw video that said he's only going to listen to DJ Screw for the rest of his life. And it was from 8 years ago. And then I asked, do you still do that? Thinking he wasn't going to reply. And he was like, yes, I do.
Within seconds.
He was like, yes, maybe some old school West Coast rap, but I mostly listen to DJ Screw. And I was like, all right. He's not fronting.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, that is... that's Voodoo by Godsmack, our jam of the week.
From Brockton, Massachusetts, City of Champions. All right. No problem. Not a big deal.
Bill Conway, where can people find you on the internet?
The main thing is I still do this little thing called the Hard Times News.
Yes, you do.
A little comedy thing. It can be found on all socials. Just, I don't know, Google it. Shit pops up, you know?
Okay, so the Onion bought InfoWars. What are you guys going to get?
We are...
What defunct conspiracy site are y'all going for?
Goatsy.ca.
Goatsy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. If you got Goatsy, you'd be goated.
We were in talk with lemonparty.org, but negotiations fell apart when they found out what we wanted to use it for.
Holy
Hamster
shit.
dance. Is that still up?
Meatspin.com was one that we were really trying to get.
Classic. Sam, where can people find you on the internet?
They can find me at SamHarder666 on Instagram and SlamHarder on Blue Sky.
Well, yeah, you can find me on all forms of social media at Rivers Langley. And if you are wanting to buy a damn t-shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/thegoods-pod. Make you look skinny on TV. And the best way to support the show, hey, if you're watching this right now, you're already doing it. It's patreon.com/thegoods-pod. Join us on youtube.com/thegoods-pod. And second best way to support our show, head to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave a comment, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, daddy, you and R.E. Lee's dad are getting beaten to death by the mob. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.